Thank you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good time? Rock and roll, rock and roll. Thank you so much for having me up here tonight. This is my second time ever attempting my dream of doing stand-up comedy. It's kind of a misnomer. Proper nomenclature would be more like therapy. I mean, this is a hell of a lot cheaper. A hell of a lot cheaper. Most definitely. Basically, I got here about 6 months ago from Dallas, Texas. I am a Texan. Hence the Dallas Texans part. Yes, exactly. I've kind of been feeling like I've been training for this almost my entire life. Whether I'm funny or not is really not my concern. Again, I got a lot of shit built up I'm ready to unload on. Kind of like a USB port of viruses. Y'all would be the hard drive. Y'all get to go home and think about the shit I said tonight. I've been dealing with it for 38 years, so you're welcome. Let's see. The thing that's kind of bothering me the most here lately, and again, the thing that kind of cracked me up or bothered me, those are the only things I want to talk about, those are the only things I need to vent, is kind of the way technology has kind of switched over and flipped. It used to be that things were, of course, getting smaller and getting smaller. Every time I pull out my tablet for anything, whether it's to get any information, to write a memo or anything, the very first question out of somebody's mouth is, so is that a phone? No, that would be a tablet. They're getting a little bit bigger and bigger. Everybody knows that. I was over at my girl's house this last week. I'm sitting there looking at the big screen 60-inch, and I really don't think it's that far of a stretch for most of y'all to kind of see that that's probably the way we're going. Somebody's pretty soon going to have a 50-inch strapped onto the side of their belt. It's going to make it very interesting when you have to answer a call. Hold on, baby, 1 second. How's all the women doing tonight? All y'all women having a good time? Rock and roll. I'm not going to do the women bashing thing. That's not my thing. In fact, I'm a firm believer that women are much more evolved than men in a lot of instances. A lot of it. Yes, give it up for yourself, ladies. Most definitely. In fact, I think that's probably one of the biggest downfalls necessarily of religion over the last, 20 or 30 years, why it's become so irrelevant, is keeping women out of the cloth. Most women are much more spiritually advanced than men, much more emotionally advanced than men. But that's not really saying a hell of a lot. Remember, we are the species that scratches our balls and sniffs it, so you're not really that fucking impressive. It's like beating the shit out of a midget in basketball. Well done. Congratulations. There are a few things that women aren't necessarily that good at, but you can't blame you. You have no experience in it. One of those is the game. As all the men know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about in the bar. Oh, there's going to be some fucking giving away of some secrets right now. You can promise you that. Hey, trust me, I was raised in the West Dallas Projects. I ain't scared. The game was invented for women. So it's not that women necessarily couldn't be as good at it as men. You just have no experience in it. Ever since you've been 13, every man you met's been staring at your tits. So there's really no need for it at all. But I'm sure with a little bit of practice, it could be very easily well done. Another thing that the big differences between the whole man and women thing, and again, I won't get off on a tangent on just that, but is the closeness that a lot of women involved. And one of the most closest thing that all the women that I've dated at least can do is join a man in the bathroom. What the fuck? I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I understand that there are a lot of bodily functions, farting, burping, sneezing are bodily functions, but that doesn't count taking a shit in my opinion. It really, really doesn't. I know there's a kind of bonding going on there, but to put it bluntly, if I walk in and my girlfriend is taking a shit, I eat at that fucking restaurant. I really don't want to fucking see that. And now, look, don't get me wrong. I have no problem. I am a huge fan, all full disclosure, of going downtown, as a lot of other men may be out here in the audience. There's your future husbands right there, ladies. I'm fucking telling you. But I want the streets clean. That's just the way I roll. And if I make a trip down the side alley, and a lot of you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about, again, I eat at that fucking restaurant. I really don't want to fucking see that. Looking out in the audience, I see a lot of people like myself. I'm a firm believer in kind of the way that people are attracted to each other. I don't necessarily mean sexually, I mean in any kind of relationships. And people flock together in groups, whether you even realize it or not. It's similar to electrons and dark matter. There's just something about them chemically can attract one another to each other. You know, and we don't even realize at the time. I see a lot of eyes. I know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, you played Nickel Tickle Time with your fucking uncle on a camping trip too, didn't you? Yeah, you can see it. You can fucking see it. Man, I'm gonna do one last thing. I really appreciate y'all being so supportive of my second time up here. Give it up for yourself. Everybody, I'm having a great fucking time. I caught myself just laughing hysterically because being raised again in the West Dallas projects, being, with the glasses, the large afro, oh yeah, large fucking afro when I was growing up and kid, I always kind of looked at things a little bit differently. I mean, words are quite literally, I'm not using that word out of context, when someone says something and places that image into your head. For normal people, it goes in and then goes the fuck out. If you have ADD, like myself, it bounces around and rattles in there so fucking nonstop that you can't let it go. It's impossible to let it go. So a buddy of mine was actually talking the other day, laughingly, about ICP, Gathering of the Juggalos. Not necessarily a fan, not a hater. I've reached a certain age where I don't really despise any music. Do your thing, man. I'm proud of you if you want to do your thing. Congratulations. Absolutely, absolutely. However, he brought up the point, what if aliens' first trip was the planet Earth? You know where I'm going, yeah. Was flying overhead and seeing a gathering of the Juggalos. That's kind of funny. I mean, just the idea of that is kind of funny. But again, it starts bouncing around inside of my head, and I'm sitting there on the couch, and I just start laughing hysterically. He's going, what the fuck are you laughing at? Well, what if it's not their first fucking trip here? What if, let's say, their first trip ever was the planet Earth with us, I don't know, like 17th century Vienna? That's the experience they have with music. Even more so, that sort of rattling around is, what if it's not only their second time here, but what if they've actually booked this as a resort stop? To people from other planets, you will not fucking believe this place, man. The most amazing music, the sounds, the symphony, the caucus, the sound, the way that they dress, the way they portray themselves, fills your heart with music, makes you hear the angels or mugus or whatever the fuck they call them from another planet, where you can hear this and it just takes over your entire soul. Oh, y'all ready? I know it's been a long trip. I cannot wait for you to see this. Open the door. And now just get ready. Now the fuck? Are they spraying fucking soda on each other? You said left at fucking Alpha Centauri, right? That was the right proper direction. This ain't the fucking right place. People are gonna be asking for their fucking money back before this is all over. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate every single one of you. Y'all have a blessed night. Rock and roll.